They get the acid, heartburn, indigestion, diarrhea. All of those things can be helped by iodine. Okay, guys, my name is Elizabeth Quam. I have been disillusioned with the medical system as we have it in our healthcare system because of multiple things that I've been able to resolve in our own diet with our own health issues, major health issues. My daughter was dying of what they said was leukodystrophy. There's nothing I could do, but more on that later. Um, I I want to talk about in particular, to keep it short and to keep it concise and about one topic. I'm going to talk about low stomach acid. Stomach acid can sound like, oh, that's not heartburn. No. What happens is gastric acid can come up into the esophagus and area, and it can just really burn. And a gastric acid is actually less acidic than hydrochloric acid in your stomach. And what happens is if you don't have that highly acidic hydrochloric acid in your stomach, then your food is not getting digested properly, and there's not and then when it goes into the small intestines, like a lot of stuff is not getting digested and broken down as it should. What can increase hydrochloric acid, and you might have burping instead of like heartburn, you might have like burping. What we need in our bodies is we need that gastric acid to shut off, and we need more and to have enough hydrochloric acid in our stomachs to be able to do its job appropriately. So what can increase hydrochloric acid? Well, hydrochloric acid is made with chloride. We need that like sea salt, but we also need iodine. So it's like, so what we need is because iodine actually causes hydrochloric acid in your body to increase. Now, I don't want you to run out to the store and buy iodine, because you're not going to buy molecular iodine. You're not going to buy the right type of iodine, because you'll probably buy something that says iodine and it actually is iodide. And they've noticed that iodine is what helps get the body actually back on track. And I have some studies and thoughts on that, but I won't dive into that right now. It's just too much. So you see right here, almost no sources will actually tell you that iodine can help increase stomach acid, the right kind of stomach acid, the hydrochloric acid. But the stomach acid serves a protective function, killing various pathogenic microorganisms that might otherwise cause infection in the gastrointestinal tract. Iodine also increases the salivation of your mouth, and that saliva is the first thing that helps you start digesting your food appropriately. And then all the muscles that go down, and even the little flipper muscle that is right there, and that can sometimes come open, and then the gastric acid can go into your esophagus and you get the heartburn. But iodine can make those muscles stronger. They're not something that you can just try to make stronger by working it out. You can't work out those muscles. You can't work out your esophagus muscles. Like, those are involuntary muscles that work, and iodine can help make those muscles strengthened. That includes all of the muscles in your digestive tract that push everything through. It also helps create all of those juices in your stomach, the mucus in your stomach that's pushing everything down and out. I'm sorry that we're getting all graphic here, but it is extremely important that we are able to digest our food well. Here you can see the iodine insufficiency can trigger the low stomach acid. The iodine enables chloride to enter the stomach cells, which is important since the chloride ion in salt is the element of hydrochloric acid. So we need that salt. So what a lot of people do is that they get the acid, heartburn, indigestion, diarrhea, and they don't know that all of those things can be helped by iodine. So here's the tricky part with supplementing with iodine, the molecular iodine, the one that is not iodide, it's iodine in Lugo solution, like in the J. Crow that I use. And I'm not getting paid for any of this. When you supplement with that, what it does is it can diffuse into the cell and kick out the bromine that might be on the receptor of the cell, or fluoride or chlorine, because those are all in the halogen family. They all are can kick each other around. But iodine is heavier and it can kick off all of those things. And when that happens, you will have an increase of that floating around in your body, and you need to take salt with an extra amount of salt when you are first starting to supplement with the iodine, because what happens is you can have toxicity symptoms, of which are acid indigestion and a plethora of detox symptoms. You can look it up for yourself. I'm going to give you two places that you can go and get information. Both are Facebook pages. I'm always a proponent of getting your fat-soluble vitamins up, getting iodine up in your body, and boron up in your body. And I'm going to put two pages down there in Facebook and maybe I'll just stick it there every single video that I have, just so that people can access it or go down and see it. So what can happen is you can have all of these random symptoms, stomach pain or anything, and it can be like, oh my goodness, iodine's doing this to me. Well, no, it's kicking out that bromine, and a lot of that bromine can cause detox symptoms. One silly detox symptom of mine was burning butthole. So it kind of felt like as if you ate spicy food or something like that, and it was burning your butthole. And there's probably something related to a detox symptom that the pepper is actually doing for you, because it's not like every time you eat spicy food that it's doing that. So that's a confusing thing that I'm pondering. Also, one of the more serious detox symptoms was rapid heartbeat for me. And that happened, but it went away. And with more salt, it helped it and it calmed it down. But that's also a detox symptom. It's also a bromine toxicity symptom. When your body's trying to use bromine when it's not supposed to be used, because it is so common now that we have bromine in all of our clothing and it's extremely bad for our thyroid. They don't even allow it in other countries, but they have, you just have it. It is in the environment, but the iodine, when you get that iodine, it will always kick off those other things, but it takes a while for all that to happen in all your cells. So it's not just like you start supplementing with iodine and boom, you're fixed. You don't have an iodine problem. No, it takes time. And as you learn and grow with this, like, you will encounter different things, and I hope that you're encouraged by healing. A good question that I have, and I really want us to ponder this because I can't find specific details about it, or I haven't dug long enough. But if our regular stomach is not acidic enough, I think that indicates other places in our bodies that are not functioning correctly, and every cell of our body has a little stomach. It's a limosome. So what's happening in those little stomachs? What is happening in those little stomachs? Because those little stomachs are important for all of our biological processes in every single cell that we have in our bodies. Huge implications.